Good day, viewer. You're most welcome to the NILE Cast on Westnile Television, where we give you the daily news bulletins of the day. Every day, my name is Okumringa Christine. Before we dive into any of the stories, let's first have a look at the news that has made headlines. In the headlines today, horticulture strategic development plan to be launched in the Westnile region. His Majesty Philip Uluarkel III meets UNFA Country Director at Kalatiak over child maternal death.
These are areas I am hoping we can continue to support and boost to help get the message out.
And the handover of Iraji Bridge to community of Pakele Sub-County, Adjumani East constituency. This and more in the NILE Cast News Bulletin.
All this government is giving to you people of Adjumani because of one thing, because you support NRM. Asante sana kabisa, people of Adjumani.
A very warm welcome to you, viewer, to the NILE Cast on Westnile Television. Now let us dive into some of the stories. Westnile Development Association, together with the partners dealing in agribusiness with funding from the European Union, is set to launch and disseminate horticulture strategic development plan that will be rolled out to all the districts in the Westnile region in order to improve on the household income, address unemployment in the region once embraced. Dennis Soringi reports.
All is set for the launch of the Westnile Horticulture Strategic Development Plan by Westnile Development Association that brings together all the local governments in the region in partnership with the partners that got involved in the development of the strategic plan. Annually, over 10 billion is being lost to those who import tomatoes to the region. It is on this basis that the association partnered with organizations dealing in agribusiness to come out with the plan for horticulture.
We did a study focusing on consumption and expenditure on tomatoes in the Western Nile region. The study revealed that in the entire Western Nile region, where there are 12 districts, 1 city and 2 municipal councils, the people of Western Nile every year spend 10.7 billion on imported tomatoes to the region.
The Horticulture Strategic Development Plan that will be launched tomorrow will be decentralized across the region in West Nile within the parish development model strategies that currently the government is implementing.
It is this plan that will be rolled and decentralized across the region in all the sub-counties, in all the parishes, in all the villages, in line with the parish development model, but with a bias, with a specific focus on how we can take advantage of this huge market opportunity we have in the region, we have in the neighboring countries.
Matenga Ivan, the M&E officer with PAL Corps who represented the partners during the press conference today, says they are ready to work together in the implementation of the Horticulture Strategic Development Plan.
As development workers, especially PAL Corps, we do fight a number of work in trying to respond to some of these challenges that have been presented. So, together with other development partners, including NRC, the Norwegian Refugee Council, Action Against Hunger, the Tunga Hilfe, with funding from the European Union, we have been implementing a 4-year project titled The Response to Increased Demand on Government Services and Creation of Employment Opportunities.
According to the study conducted by UNICEF, local governments in West Nile region only collects 2% in local revenue of what they received from the central government, and embracing horticulture will greatly improve the revenue collections in the region that will in turn be translated into development.
Addressing sectors like horticulture would expand and broaden the tax base for local revenue collection, increase employment for our youth and the women who actually are very active in this sector, and that would increase local revenue collection and create some money that the local governments can use more flexibly. So,
We are to develop keen interest to ensure that the strategy we're going to come up with is something which is locally generated from the local leaders, from the commercial officers. We wanted something which is practical. We don't want to just come and impose something on the leaders.
Moses Akuma Odims, the executive director Wenda, once this plan is rolled out, the farmers will get the best produce for the best market, hence promoting healthy living.
As Wenda, we're going to launch tomorrow, also shared with people about that. And so these initiatives are there, and we're working towards to ensure that actually our farmers get the best, and when they get the best, they can produce the best for the market, and as they can produce the best for the market, we can have good health. Because at the end of the day, we are talking about our health here, just like Mr. Chairman said, that this horticulture business we're talking about, because we're talking about our health. This is what we eat every day. If it's not clean, if it's not proper, then that means our lifespans will be reduced and the human mortality will increase.
The tomorrow launch of the Horticulture Development Strategic Plan for West Nile will be graced by the State Minister for Northern Uganda, Kuyoshin Grace Freedom. Dennis Oringi, Westnile Television, Nile Cast.
And more in our stories. During the visit of the Country Director, United Nations Population Fund, Dr. Mary Otieno, to Atiak Palace, His Royal Highness Philip Olarkel III, the King of Alur Kingdom, has urged the United Nations Population Fund to address the escalating cases of child maternal deaths in the kingdom. Alfred Jawok reports.
There was a moment of cultural dignity as Alur Kingdom received a Country Director, United Nations Population Funds, Dr. Mary Otieno, in Atiak Palace, as traditional dancers showcased their talents of welcoming visitors into the palace. However, in a bid to mitigate child maternal death within the Alur Kingdom, His Majesty Philip Olarkel III has urged the United Nations Population Fund to address the escalating cases of the vice in the kingdom. This was observed on Wednesday this week at Kal Atiak during the meeting with the Country Director, United Nations Population Fund, Dr. Mary Otieno, to find some ways to help pregnant mothers who undergo maternal death. According to the King Olarkel Rauni III, as a kingdom, they have organized couples of activities to create awareness on teenage pregnancy and child marriage among the youths in the district.
We're one of the areas that experienced a lot of young girls having to go through some of these negative things, early child pregnancies. And that is maybe one of the key areas we would request for more support. As a kingdom, personally, as Ubimo, when I came onto this scene, my goal was, yes, to maintain our culture, to promote our culture, but to also make our kingdom relevant to the needs of everyday people. The majority of the people, like in most of Uganda, are women in our area. They are the ones who are affected most, but they are the ones who contribute the most to the way our society goes about or manages its daily functions. So those are the key areas. That is why I think for the last 3 years, in partnership with Plan, we have our themes have always been either against gender-based violence. Last year we had the teenage pregnancies. We have had football tournaments, women football tournaments, and some of these women are so resilient. We had the bicycle race, and we had mothers who came with their kids, put the kids aside, participated in a bicycle race and came back to. So their resilience, and these are areas I am hoping we can continue to support and boost to help get the message out.
Meanwhile, Dr. Mary Otieno, the Country Director, United Nations Population Fund, equally observed that Uganda is far from achieving zero maternal death, as the global goal is 75 per 100 lifespan. In achieving the goal, she further revealed that UNFPA procures 45% of family planning commodities in Uganda to help the reproductive mothers space their children.
We have good programs, and we saw them everywhere we went. We have these marks called male action groups, SASA activists. We have parent role models, both mentors, role models for men, women. They are doing extraordinary work, but it's a drop in the ocean. Yeah. We need to scale up.
That's what exactly.
Yes, we need to scale up, and how we scale up, I was challenging my staff and the teams, how do we think innovatively to change this? Because they are working. Men are now carrying water, washing babies, and we were told cooking. The ones who are beating their wives have stopped, and they were testifying themselves that I used to be a wife beater. Not anymore. You know, they are changing totally. And I asked them to document so that we can learn from this and try to scale them up. But it requires funding, you know, and it requires new ways of thinking. How do we scale it if we don't have funding? And communities have changed, honestly, totally.
In the meantime, Edward Echo, Deputy Chief Administrative Officer, Zombo District, said there is a growing population in Zombo District accessing health facilities in Virus Health Unit, but urged United Nations Population Fund and UNICEF to extend their continued support to Zombo District Health Department.
One of the things I did through the NGO Monitoring Committee, I realized that we need to bring all partners on board. Because the NGO Act of 2016 requires that we should have a committee which meets to look at all the CBO, to look at what they're capable of leveraging their support. The government cannot be able to provide. Yes, we have PDM, we have many other programs, we are rallying support, but when you look at the participation of these vulnerable groups, this program is also still wanting.
The Prime Minister Lur Kingdom, Right Honorable Lawrence Oparangala, while presenting the Kingdom's progress reports, he lauded United Nations Population Fund representatives in Uganda for collaborating with the Lur Kingdom in fighting child maternal death and other activities in the Kingdom.
On behalf of UN, on behalf of the Kingdom, in your capacity as the representative of the UN agency here for Population Fund, I want to welcome you because your agency has been supporting Plan International, which in turn supports our programs, which have been heavily enumerated to you by our king in the private.
The Executive Director, Lur Kingdom, Vincent Oshaya, said the Kingdom still uses analog ways of getting data, but appealed to United Nations Population Fund to facilitate the Kingdom for a modern way of disseminating information to the youth.
Today I got more data from UNPA. How I wish you share those data with us. We are lacking data, and our response is based on what we see with the eyes. We're not working scientifically. And for many our interventions, some of them are done on the traditional ways of interventions. We can improve with scientific figures. The district has been very good. I think the last time we had an intervention in the district was a month ago, where the Kingdom official went to the district and they were very supportive to give us data on child pregnancies, marriage, even HIV/AIDS. We came back with lots of data, and we are implementing that in the next 4 months and ending in September. And I think as an institution, we are growing in implementation. So we're becoming a source of data, the raw data you want to get about our community. We're now beginning to have that data. The greatest impact that we're now trying to do is where we're using the youth to become the tool for advocacy. You see, we have been talking champions like the adults, the old, the weak, and all, but we forgot that the 70% you're talking about, if they are doing the advocacy themselves, then we are dealing with the right people and they use their own language. So the Kingdom opened up a very important channel for communicating through the Kaboi, the youth, the fireplace. Now, fireplace is very funny. You may think it's the usual fire, but the fireplace can be WhatsApp. If they meet in WhatsApp, that means their fireplace is called WhatsApp. If it's Facebook, it's Facebook. So the fireplace now changing to the modernity. It's not the traditional fire. It is where they meet is what we call our fireplace. And that is a big intervention that has helped us reach this far.
Reports from Zombo District Health Department indicate that in the last 2 years, over 130 maternal death cases registered in the district. Alfred Jawok, Westnile TV, Nile Cast.
And more in our stories. The teams from Adjumani District Local Government, together with the Office of the Resident District Commissioner Adjumani, handed over Iraji Bridge to the community of Pakele, Sub-County, Adjumani East Constituency. Onzima Alan reports. The teams from Adjumani District Local Government, together with the Office of the Resident District Commissioner Adjumani, handed over Eraji Bridge to the community of Pakele Sub-County Adjumani East constituency. The Eraji Bridge in Pakele Sub-County has been handed over to the community of Pakele Sub-County by the teams of Adjumani District Local Government, together with the Office of the Resident District Commissioner Adjumani District.
This project was started on 12th of July 2021. And it is a design and a build model. We started with the design, and this design was reviewed by a team of professionals from line ministries, Office of the Prime Minister, and the Minister of Works. And this design was finally approved by the Minister of Works. So the design we implemented here, we did not only do it alone, and it was owned by the Minister of Works. And this supervision, we did a joint supervision, including the team from the Ministry of Works and the Office of the Prime Minister. I want to really thank contractor for being compliant with the requirements of the contract. We are very, very critical with the issues of the quality, and this to deliver this works to what you see required contractor to execute works as per the approval stages. We had a very compliant contractor who could listen to all our instructions and approvals. All works done here were witnessed by a team of professionals and were approved before they were executed. And that means now we can comfortably guarantee the strength and the stability of this bridge, because a number of professionals were involved in this work.
I want to thank God. First of all, I want to thank God that this is being received. I want to thank the team that we have worked with. They have been very supportive. I want to start with right from the engineering department and your staff. They have supported us. For us to reach this far, they have been very supportive. The sub-county authorities, the community. Whenever something is being taken away, they alert us. So that was a very good mechanism of helping us. We are not everywhere. So they have been supportive. When you meet challenges, you learn more. And learning never ends. We have learned more. We have learned from each other with my supervisors. And we are satisfied that if, as has been appreciated, we think what has been done will meet the design life. However, as this facility is being received today, I want to underscore issues for the attention of stakeholders, government and stakeholders. The issue of sand mining has been mentioned, but I need to amplify it. The soil formation in this area here will change the river course.
This program of Dr. Deep is found nowhere in Uganda apart from districts that have accepted refugees to stay with them. And this is where they get this money. But because you have accepted to bring refugees to stay here, you are able to get this money for this bridge that is built. Not only people of Lewa, I want to thank Adjumani as a district. You have 19 settlements. Dr. Deep has reached all these places. Why? Because you have welcomed people to come and stay with you. Today, many people ask questions, what is government doing? But if I count for you the money that government has sent for Adjumani to build Adjumani, is a lot. We have this bridge, you have had 3 billion finished. We have finished the roads in these camps. In Nyumazi, in Pagirinya, in Maji. We have health centers that have been built, maternity wards. We have schools. I think there's even a school in NILE here which is being built. We have bridges. We have all this government is giving to you people of Adjumani because of one thing, because you support NRM. Asante sana kabisa people of Adjumani. And more money is going to come.
2026, more money is going to come.
Onzima Alan and Dokumaringa Christine for Westnile Television, Nile Cast. And more in our story, students of Paida Secondary School are struggling to attain computer knowledge as the school only has 3 computers for 120 students who offer computer studies. Raphael Ongom, the head teacher of Paida Secondary School, say the lack of computers has made them offer computer courses only to Senior 6 and Senior 5 students. Alfred Jawok reports.
The need for learners to have knowledge in computers at Paida Secondary School is a challenge, as the school has only 3 computers for over 120 students who offer computer studies. In a mini survey conducted by our reporter this afternoon at Paida Secondary School, learners are forced to learn in shifts as this affects their learning process to ICT subjects. Innocent Oketwinyo, Senior 6 candidate who offers ICT, says the lack of computers in the school will hamper his performance in the final examinations this year.
Is that we are only having 3 computers, and of the 3, we are 18 students. You find at that particular moment, for a teacher to teach, he has to conduct 3 different lessons, has two members to use a computer at that particular time, and even the space of our computer lab is small enough. You find us squeezed, we are squeezed, and most of our members could not pick.
Fancy Anirod, a Senior 3 student who wishes to learn computer knowledge, revealed that despite the school being a government-aided secondary school, there is need for government intervention to support the school.
New curriculum, we need what? Research. The teachers give us work, but with the shortage of computer in this school, there is no research we can do. And even in the lab, in our lab computer there, we have only 3 computers. Wish the A-levels are the one using, but for us, the O-level, we have shortage of it.
Speaking to Godwin Opeo, ICT teacher at Paida Secondary School, said due to lack of computers and inadequate structures at the school, he now teaches ICT students in 3 shifts. He attributed the failures of some ICT students in the previous examinations to lack of computers. Opeo added that the school only gives ICT knowledge to advanced level students, as the only 3 computers were procured by the school.
Currently in A level, especially Senior 5, we find a lot of challenges because we have 18 learners of ICT in Senior 5. Now with the 3 computers available, we have to teach them in shifts. So I teach normally 2 students per computer. 2 students use a computer, meaning for every lesson we teach it 3 times for the 18 learners to be able to have something like this, which is very challenging.
However, Raphael Mon, the head teacher at Paida Secondary School, revealed that recently officials from Uganda Communication Commission UCC came and promised them to deliver some computers to the learners. Ongom further said the lack of computers has made them offer computer courses to only Senior 5 and Senior 6 students.
Since the number in A level is small, like for example this year we have 18 students offering ICT. We have 4 computers. They are taught in 3 shifts. A set of 6 people at a time. So the 6 people, the 18 people are taught separately in the shifts of 6 people per lesson. Because in total we have about 32 students in Senior 5, but only 18 are offering ICT. We have a challenge of facilities. We don't have enough infrastructural facilities that should house the computers. We have been advocating for more classrooms so that we could we could create space for computer laboratory and begin to purchase, as we have been buying before, few per year. But when we have the facilities, we can as well also ask for well-wishers to donate to us. For example, UCC is willing to donate to us some computers. And the government is, I think, considering giving us some classrooms.
Paida Secondary School, located in Paida Town Council, was established in 1992 as community school and later elevated to government-aided school with an enrollment of 1,230 students, both in O and A levels. Alfred Jawok, Westnile TV, NILE CAST.
Viewers, my name is Oraku Benson Pastor, and you are most welcome for today's edition of Sports News at Westnile TV. In one of the stories we have got for you today, Westnile Province team turns focus on Busoga game after beating Bugisu on Sunday. They beat Bugisu by 2-1, and that's not the end of the game in their group stages. Remember, they still have got 2 games to be played in the group stages. Their next encounter will be on 27th up against Busoga, the side they lost into the hands when they were away from home, which ended by 4-1. Let's have the compiled story. Westnile Province team turns focus for the next game after Bugisu win on Sunday. The hard-fought win has given a chance for the White Rhinos to go past group stages, but need some points against Busoga and Bugisu in the reverse fixtures. On 27th of this month, Westnile Province will again host Busoga at home in Paridi before ending their campaign in the group stage with an away encounter against Bugisu in Mpale. Meanwhile, Mike Leti, the team manager, shares his excitement after Bugisu win on Sunday and also speaks ahead of the next encounter.
Oh, it was a big relief. I think even you must have felt that relief too. You saw the excitement on the bench. How all of us, some of us were stunned. We didn't know whether to celebrate or to cry or to laugh or anything like that, because it was a hard-fought win. Coming from the goal down, equalizing, and then getting a red card at a moment when we wanted to do substitutions. It forced us to do some tactical changes, and good enough. I want to thank our players. They gave it all. Because even right now, as we are speaking here, some of them were saying maybe they should have given us that red card in the first half so that we score 4 goals. Because the moment we got the red card, they pushed harder, they pushed together, they pushed and pushed. Everybody was working. I was surprised. Everybody was working and dying in the pitch. We got what we wanted. When that goal went in, we knew we were through, and we started automatically planning for the next game.
Samson Caesar Okuti, the Westnile Province head coach, gives his opinion of the past game and how the team is preparing for the next game.
Yeah, I think me personally, as the head coach of Westnile Province, I'm extremely happy after that devastating loss against Busoga and Kamuli, losing a game and then coming back home, because people didn't really expect that to lose by all that goal match 4-1 as a defending champion. It comes with a lot of pressure, it comes with a lot of expectations, because I'm happy for the response the boys had put. We came back and we lost that game. We were supposed to be ourselves to blame. There's nothing that that game was officiated badly. No, it wasn't. But we lacked some areas where we thought we could improve, which eventually paid off because, as I already said the other time back, the team at the moment in this edition of fourth edition found most of the players there for their holidays. Others, the few who had gone for the pre-season, pre-season is a lot of work. The body sometimes has not come to a complete rest. The fitness levels are still low. So we didn't expect a good number of players from Kampala who were summoned to come here for training. We didn't receive any. But the few who were here, unfortunately, most of them did not have the licenses. The ones who we found in Kampala, their fitness levels were not all that good. That's why it also contributed to that loss. But I'm happy after that loss. We managed to regroup as a team. We came back. We really worked hard. The response of the players was also very good. I think the management, we had the lacked also full support. I think they came in. That's why we were able to win this game.
Andama Jr., one of the goal scorers against Bugisu on Sunday, expressed his happiness and urges team spirit in the next game.
It was my happiest moment after scoring the goal, and all thanks goes to the teammates because it was their support that made me to score the penalty. They encouraged me to score the penalty.
Gaddafi Wahab, the team captain, as well shared his happiness after the vital win on Sunday and says focus turns to Busoga game.
What we wanted was to win that game, and we worked hard for it, and it's not the end of the game. We still have 2 more games ahead of us. We're going to work hard, and just like we worked hard for the previous game.
Oraku Benson, Farsi Majid, Westnile TV Sports News.
A win for Westnile Province up against Busoga on 27th will see them proceed into the knockout stages. But before they play the game up against Busoga, they will be engaging themselves in build-up matches. They will play Nebi Central of Greater Nebi region. They will have a huge friendly match up against Acholi Province. They have also set themselves to play friendly games with some of the teams that comes from Yumbe district. Away from that story, this time we are turning our focus to another story as Gianluigi Buffon, the custodian for Italy national team who played for Juventus, has called an end to his footballing career. This is a player who started his career in 1995 with Parma before switching to the old lady Juventus in 2001. By then he switched at a fee of £32 million. He has gone on to win 10 Serie A titles with the old ladies, that's Juventus, and in 2018-19, he also went to Paris Saint-Germain where he won the French Ligue 1 title. And in 2006 he had that memorable moment where we saw him lifting World Cup with Italy national team. In the game they went on to beat France national team by 5 goals to 3 in the penalty shootout, and he has retired at the age of 45. That's Gianluigi Buffon for you. Last season he went to his boyhood club, that's Parma, before calling an end to his footballing career today. With that we have come to the end of today's sports news. My name remains Oraku Benson Pastore.
Thank you, Benson Pastore, for the sports news and the sports update. And with that, viewer, we've come to the end of the NILE Cast on Westnile Television. Thank you for being with us from the beginning of the NILE Cast to the end of the NILE Cast, only on Westnile Television. Please stay tuned to the rest of the subsequent programs that may follow. My name is Okumringa Christine. Have a good day.